Good morning. I'm Turan Shadman at Herndon Farmers Market. Today we have a surprise recipe for you, which means that the time of pilgrims traveling and coming to Boston, Massachusetts, this recipe is over for America 360 years old, and pilgrims from England, when they came to this country, which was around 1700, they brought these recipes, and of course every time they did the pumpkin, they did a version of it, but this one is actual version of that recipe. It's a very easy recipe. It has only few items in there. The main item is the pumpkin, which we actually came to Herndon Farmers Market and got two different kind of pumpkins actually from two different producers. One was the Olympus and the other one is Santa Cruz. And so what I'm going to do to demonstrate the recipe to you all is how to cut the pumpkin and then how to boil it. And the pumpkin usually has a hard shell of the skin, so you have to very carefully cut it into pieces and boil it with the skin, because it's easier to actually take it off the skin, the flesh of the pumpkin, than skin it first and then and boil it. So I'm going to demonstrate how to actually cut the pumpkin. So be patient, and I'm going to go easy with my knife and carve into our pumpkin. What I like to do usually is cut around the top and then cut around the bottom and then slice it and then cut it apart. Here we go. And okay, that's the top. And we will cut the bottom part. Here's the bottom part. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go slice, and then take the seeds out and then cut it into pieces and put it in the boiling water and boil it about 10 to 15 minutes, and then take the skin off and mash it with our potato masher, and then add our other ingredients to it. This recipe takes about probably not more than 15 to 20 minutes, and most of the time of it is because of the boiling of the cutting actually and boiling the pumpkin. This recipe, it was sort of spread over the slice of bread for them in Pilgrim's time. It's very tasty, and it was spread over the way the history writes it, over a cornbread, a very hard kind of consistency of the bread. And I would say it just works like a butter over the slice of bread, but this was the version of what you call probably pumpkin butter over the bread. This recipe takes just so much of the probably cider vinegar, ginger, and salt, and perhaps sometimes, if you wish, you can add some sugar to it, but sugar could be optional. Also, other spices like nutmeg or cinnamon, always also a good addition. I'm just about ready to take this slice of the pumpkin apart, and usually that's how it comes out to be. It's easier to actually take the seed out, the inside out, and then cut the pumpkin into pieces. And I'm going to show you, we already cut some pumpkins and into pieces and already put it in the boiling water. And as soon as I'm done with this demonstration, just a couple of more cuts. The smaller the pieces actually you cut, the faster the pumpkin will cook. So I'm going to give it another cut. And this is just about what cut we used, and put it in the boiling water. I'm going to show it to you as what we end up with. And it's just about, I would say, roughly 3 to 4 cups of pumpkin for this recipe. And it's boiling pretty good. And what we're going to do, we're going to wait until the pumpkin is really cooked, and then come back and show you how to put the recipe together. So at the time of the Thanksgiving, the celebration, it was done with the Indian, the tribe that they called Wampanga, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Native American celebrated with pilgrims that they came to the United States at the time of Thanksgiving, and they gave their thank for everyone being healthy and sharing their foods with their neighbors. So we will come back, and once the pumpkin is boiled into the consistency that we want to mash. Thank you for coming back. Now we're going to show you again one more time as how our pumpkin is cooking, and also show you the loaf of bread that was donated by Grace's Bakery, and cut the bread and go over the ingredients of the recipe with you. This is how the pumpkin is actually boiling very nicely, and the color is really beautiful also. It's a very nice deep orange, and it's very inviting and delicious looking thing. So we're going to let it cook a little bit more, and I'm going to just recite the recipe. And it needs about 4 cups of cooked pumpkin, 3 tablespoons of butter, 2 teaspoons of cider vinegar, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and sugar. And those are optional. You could eliminate cinnamon if you want. You could add any other kind of, probably nutmeg or cumin or pumpkin spice if you wish. Okay, so let me just show you the bread that Grace's Bakery donated. It's a beautiful piece of baked bread. I'm going to unwrap and slice, because once we mashed the pumpkin and added all the ingredients, then we're going to spread it over the bread as they did. Well, pilgrims did it at that time. It is what they used to do on that time. This was what they called stand-up thing. Every time they had any kind of meals going, this was part of their table setting. The pumpkin spread on the bread with other items that they had to put on the table. So I'm going to take the cellophane and cut a nice slice or two. It looks wonderful. And smells really good. This bread, it's As I said, Grace's Pastries is cinnamon apple bread actually. So with the pumpkin spread over it, it would be absolutely delicious. And the bread really smells good. And the pumpkin spread, I'm sure by the time we are done with it, it's going to be fabulous. So I'm going to try to see if the pumpkin is really cooked. Yes, I think if I show you, by the time I touched it, it sort of fell apart. If you can see how nice you can do it, so I'm sure it's done now. So we're going to take it out, turn off the stove, and start. Okay, I'm going to take this one and scoop all the pumpkins out. And then separate the skin from the flesh, as they say. And then use the potato masher. And then add the ingredients, the cider vinegar, butter, salt, ginger, to the mash, and then spread it over the bread. Let me see how I will do this one without burning myself. I'll just go ahead and do it like this. And one by one, I will take the skin part. As you see, it really is coming off very nicely. And I will do this until I'm done with all the skin off of the pumpkin. It's going to take a little while, but the time, I'm sure with the history of pilgrims and United States, when all the pilgrims came to this country and started the tradition of Thanksgiving, which in 2 weeks all of us are going to be celebrating it. Not only pumpkin would be a good item to actually add to your table, it would be different kind of squash families, such as acorn families that I found is really lovely to bake it and stuff it with wild rice and or the acorn squash, cut and slice and then grill and then add seasoning. There are so many varieties of use for pumpkin family and squash family for fall season and for your Thanksgiving celebration and table. Of course, the most traditional one that we all know is pumpkin pie, which we are all very familiar, or pumpkin muffin. Some people probably will not just eat pumpkin as it is, but in other ways of baking is very useful. Let's see how far I am with this skinning. Not much more, but the recipes are plenty and the use of pumpkins and squash family are plenty also. So feel free to experiment with your vegetables, with any kind of squash, any kind of recipes that you could either bake, grill, or boil. So they are very healthy, and most of the time all of these vegetables have some kind of benefit for your system, for your health. They're very healthy. If you do not want to have too much carbohydrate bread or anything like that, any of these vegetables could be replacing the bread. We're just about done. Let's see, maybe one or two more here. And you see how easy actually the skin is coming off, as where if I had to cut it first, it would be really, really hard. And so this is the best way of doing it, I think, and easier. And okay, let's see, one more, two more, and we'll be done. While it's nice and warm, I'm going to just put about the 3 tablespoons of butter in here. That way it gets the butter melt much faster. Okay, according to this one, since it has the measurements by it, it says 3 tablespoons is up to here. If you see the 3 tablespoons, so I will just go ahead and cut the 3 tablespoons off of this bar. That would be 1, that would be 2, and that would be 3. There we go. So we're going to just leave this here. I'm going to take my masher and try to start to mash the butter and the pumpkin together, and give the butter a little help with the knife and put it inside where the warmth is. Uh-oh, there's a piece that I did not take the skin off. There we go. Oh, one more time. Here we go. And since it's nice and warm, it's actually melting the butter very nicely and integrating it into the pumpkin. And as soon as we are done with that part, then we're going to add the salt, the ginger, and a dash of little cinnamon I'll choose to add. Okay, now I'm going to add the ginger. I have ginger powder over here, and it's about, recipe is asking for 2 teaspoons of ginger. I'm using the ground ginger. And then we do the salt, 1 teaspoon of salt. I have kosher salt in here, so I'm going to just use that. And then we have the 2 teaspoons of cider vinegar, which I have in here. Okay, we're going to give it a good turn and try to mash everything together. And I want to make sure I taste all the ingredients together before I serve it over the bread for tasting. So the color is really beautiful. It's really beautiful orange, fresh kind of spread that is going to be over the bread, and it's going to be really delicious, I'm sure. Now I'm going to taste a bit of it and see if it needs actually a little bit more of anything, and then I will add to it. If it is done and it doesn't need anything, we'll just go ahead and spread it over the bread and probably have some people come and taste it. Oh my goodness, perfect. Perfect. Now, what I'm going to do is divide this thing into the actual recipe, leave it as it is, and the other half I'm going to add cinnamon to it. So we will have 2 different tastes actually for putting it over the bread. So I'm going to just go ahead and do one side as what is original Pilgrim's recipe, which is only with ginger, the apple cider vinegar, and salt and butter. And the other half, I'm going to do the cinnamon, add a bit of cinnamon to it, and see how it will taste. Because, as I said, there's no problem. Some people might not like cinnamon, some people might not like other spices. So that way, we will have 2 different kind of taste to our Pilgrim's spread. All right, now let me add some cinnamon to this side. That would be enough. Oh, perfect. Both of them really taste wonderful. One is with cinnamon and the other one with ginger. So I'm going to spread it over the bread and cut it into pieces and have people to actually come and taste it. This is how I will do it. The bread is nice. The spread is very smooth and very buttery. And I think this was one way of buttering the bread in the time of Pilgrims. So it's a very healthy ingredient to consume and always a wonderful addition to your table. This is how it will look. I'm going to put the butter here. I'm going to cut this in 4 sections and then do another one with cinnamon. And then it would be done for today. And actually, I would say it has been a wonderful, wonderful season. Farmers market, today is the last day. So hopefully you all try to come out and enjoy yourself and get your fresh produce from the Herndon Farmers Market. And then go and try these recipes that we have been putting on HCTV for this season and last season. So we will see if we can get some people to come and taste our pumpkin spread over slice of bread. This is how it looks, and let's see if I have some people here to come. Now that we are already done with our recipe, which is actually an authentic recipe from Plymouth Plantation that we were able to get, and this is what we end up to do today. And our spread, pumpkin spread over the bread, we're going to ask JD, please, to taste them.
My pleasure.
And let us know what you think. And the bread also, as we said, Grace's Pastry donated the bread, which goes fantastic with this pumpkin bread spread. Well, thank you so very much for coming and tasting our recipe today.
Very good for Thanksgiving.
It's a wonderful addition for the table of the Thanksgiving.
I just want to say that Gracie's Pastries is located at the Herndon Center, where the former Kmart used to be in Herndon, off Eldon Street.
Well, thank you very much for the information.
Thank you
so a lot. So absolutely. So please go ahead and help yourself. And we thank you so very much. And please do come back and join us. And we welcome you every time you view and come to Herndon Farmers Market, and see you next season.